Alrighty, everybody. So here we have this older saddle. This saddle's real old. It's got good conchos and stuff on it, things like that. We've already taken it off. We're gonna do some repairs on this saddle, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna put new stirrup leathers on it. I've already taken the fenders and everything off. New off billet holders tooled to match. We'll put new back billets on it, and we're gonna put new riggings on underneath there. This leather is just really soft, really brittle, a really nice saddle. But this is the before. We'll go ahead, go around, and get you the rest of it, and I'll let you know what the after looks like. All right, so now we're out here with this older saddle. We did get it cleaned up and everything. It's nice and clean. You can kind of see where there was a little bit of roughing on this leather, but that's just the texture of the leather from being how old this saddle is. Cleaned up really nice. Got a lot of dirt and stuff out of there, but that's the saddle itself. What we're going to do is we're going to end up replacing these back, I would call them riggings, but these back riggings, just the outer layer, just to kind of tighten everything up. So now we're going to head over here to the table and look at this stirrup leather and fender. What you see right here is a butcher cut. This doesn't really hamper the integrity of this stirrup leather, but if I were putting new sets on there, I wouldn't put that on there. But it's fine for what it is. This repair was done over 30 years ago because this is not the original stirrup leather and fender. Now you can see there's a little touch of stretch in this fender, but nothing to seriously worry about. That happens when you have half leathers on there, not full stirrup leathers to take the weight off. But that's what this saddle looks like cleaned. Right here, what you're looking at are the riggings to this saddle. These hold the D's, and that essentially holds the saddle onto the horse. Now, it's very rare that I get to work on such nice riggings like this. So it's really important to make sure you have good riggings on your saddle. You see how the back piece of this rigging goes all the way up to the top, and it's laced very well. It's actually doubled up in there, and that's what we're going to do on this saddle. So here's the new one. You can see that I've got it skived down, making it slim so it fits pretty flush and kind of goes with the flow of the saddle. Right here is me oiling the saddle. The rest of this video is going to be sped up about 9 times from what it originally was, because this was about a 2.5 hour process putting this saddle back together. I didn't video everything, but I got most of it. So you can see I'm oiling the saddle, oiling it with 100% needs foot oil. That's because this saddle has cotton stitches, and the synthetic blend of needs foot oil will rot the stitches, but I only use 100% needs foot oil in general. So now we got it dried, and you see me starting to put the riggings back on there. Going through, I'm not using the same nail holes that are already in the saddle because I want the nail to get a really good bite in there. So there you go. You can see now we're working on the other side. We got everything in there smooth, and it fit right. I'm gonna tie these jockeys back right here. And what you see me doing is marking my holes, and I'm fixing to hand stitch these riggings on here. This is a process that I enjoy, and it's a really fun nod to saddle makers and saddle repairmen who came before me when the entire saddle was hand stitched and stitching machines weren't used. But there are some things that you just can't use a machine for, and that's what hand stitching riggings are. You can't use a sewing machine or stitching machine for this. It just doesn't work out right. So some things just have to have that handcrafted, hand stitched touch. Now we're gonna go over here and do the other side. Punch my holes, and we're gonna start taking our wax thread going through there. Now you'll notice we have a really tight stitch and tight pull up against the front of the tree of that saddle. That's very important to make sure everything stays put and fits right on the riggings. And when you're doing a set of riggings, especially front riggings and back riggings, this matters too. Making sure that the D rings are at even levels is very important. That way, the saddle pulls and sits on the horse correctly. It's not pulling to one side or the next. Now right here, I'm getting started. I'm gonna go through and put saddle strings through the back. It's gonna go up underneath there around the skirt and the fleece and come back up. So that's gonna pull really tight up against there. I like putting strings on saddles. You don't see too many modern saddles with strings, and this saddle's very old and very well built. So I like that it has strings. Strings hold it together a little bit neater and a little bit more traditional than just screws and conchos, but to each their own. And I really like this process. I like it when an old saddle comes in and we keep it as original as possible, which is what this owner wanted to do. They wanted to keep as much original as possible, but they wanted to prolong the life of this saddle. So what you see now, I'm just running the stirrup leathers back through in the fenders, making sure we're getting everything nice and tight, and we're really starting to go back together with this saddle. So right here, we're just nailing everything down, fixing to put the conchos and the screws into the saddle and kind of wrap this build up. So what you see right now, I'm putting on these leather conchos, and those are essentially just like washers. Now, right there in the back, you can see me cleaning that silver off. I was very impressed when I pulled the tarnish off to reveal the silver engraving on there. There was just a nice floral pattern that I couldn't even see because there was so much tarnish built up on that. But you can see how the back strings kind of came together. I like to leave them long enough to where if they wanted to tie a bedroll on there, they could. Now you see me with that mallet hitting those other conchos, and all that's doing is kind of tightening everything up. You know, you hand screw those down and giving it a few taps with the mallet really tightens everything up. And now we're going back with the front off billet holders and screwing everything down. And we're fixing to wrap this saddle up. This was a pretty fun build, very interesting. What you see me putting on here is a sheen. Now this is Phoebing's harness dressing. I actually got this tip and this idea from an old Amish saddle maker in Ohio. He likes it because on a slick saddle you can actually buff it out and almost polish it. I really like that. Now we're lacing these back things up. Everything's going good. These back billets, I replaced these. He wanted some new ones, so we got him fixed up, putting stirrups on there, fixing to wrap this saddle up completely. This was a fun build. Took me longer than I expected, but it was a joy to work on such an old saddle. So I'm going to back on out of here, guys, and want to thank y'all if you stuck around and watched this video. Let's watch to wrap this up so we can see the finished product.